He was young, charismatic, and determined to free his people. But within months of becoming Congo's first prime minister, he was overthrown, imprisoned, and executed. This is the untold story of Patrice Lumumba, and the global forces that feared his vision. Born in 1925 in the Belgian Congo, Lumumba rose from postal clerk to political firebrand. He founded the Mouvement National Congolais and demanded independence, not just from Belgium, but from the entire colonial system. Patrice Lumumba gave a lot of political speeches during his lifetime, and the following is an excerpt from the famous speech he gave at the University of Ibadan, Western Nigeria on March 22, 1959. "We are not pirates. On the contrary, we respect individuals and the rights of others to well-being. The one thing we are determined to do, and we would like others to understand us, is to root out colonialism and imperialism from Africa. We have long suffered, and today we want to breathe the air of freedom. The Creator has given us this share of the earth that goes by the name of the African continent. It belongs to us and we are its only masters. It is our right to make this continent a continent of justice, law, and peace. The West must free Africa as soon as possible. The West must examine its conscience today and recognize the right of each colonized territory to freedom and dignity. If the colonialist governments promptly understand our aspirations, we will negotiate with them, but if they stubbornly insist on considering Africa their possession, we will be obliged to consider the colonizers the enemies of our emancipation. Under these circumstances, we will regretfully cease to be friends with them. Africa will not be truly free and independent as long as any part of this continent remains under foreign domination." I conclude my remarks with this passionate appeal: Africans, let us rise up. Africans, let us unite. Africans, let us walk hand in hand with those who want to help us make this beautiful continent a continent of freedom and justice. This speech and others like it quickly turned Mr. Lumumba into a person of interest both in his Belgian Congo, the African continent, and in the West. The Belgian Congo was a Belgian colony from 1908 to 1960 with significant resource exploitation, minerals, plantations, and some infrastructure development, but limited Congolese education and political power until its 1960 independence as the Democratic Republic of the Congo, DRC. On June 30, 1960, Congo gained independence. But Lumumba's speech shocked the world. He condemned colonialism to the face of the Belgian king. Days later, the country descended into chaos, mutinies, secessions, and Cold War meddling. The King of Belgian Congo first gave a speech many would term political correct yet insincere, and Patrice Lumumba, the new prime minister, responded with a fiery no-holds-barred outburst. This Lumumba's speech has been termed one that went too far in the face of his detractors. Let's listen to excerpts of the two speeches translated to English. First, the King's. "Mr. President, gentlemen. The independence of Congo is the end result of the work started with the exceptional personality of King Leopold II, which he tackled with determined courage and which has been continued with persistence by Belgium. When Leopold II embarked on the great work that is being crowned today, he did not come here as a conqueror but as a bringer of civilization. From the start, Congo has opened its borders to international trade, without Belgium ever exercising an exclusive right focused solely on its own interests. Congo has been given railways, all kinds of sea and air lines, which, by connecting your populations with each other, have promoted their unity and expanded the countries to the world. A medical service, which was set up several decades early, has been patiently organized and has delivered you from many devastating illnesses. Numerous and remarkably well-equipped hospitals have been built. Agriculture has been improved and modernized. Major cities have been built, and throughout the country, living conditions and hygiene are showing remarkable progress." Then, Lumumba's men and women of the Congo, victorious independence fighters. I salute you in the name of the Congolese government. I ask all of you, my friends, who tirelessly fought in our ranks, to mark this June 30, 1960, as an illustrious date that will be ever engraved in your hearts, a date whose meaning you will proudly explain to your children, so that they in turn might relate to their grandchildren and great-grandchildren the glorious history of our struggle for freedom. Although this independence of the Congo is being proclaimed today by agreement with Belgium, an amicable country, with which we are on equal terms, no Congolese will ever forget that independence was won in struggle, a persevering and inspired struggle carried on from day to day, a struggle, in which we were undaunted by privation or suffering and stinted neither strength nor blood. It was filled with tears, fire and blood. The US and Belgium feared Lumumba's ties to the Soviet Union. The CIA plotted his removal. Belgium backed Katanga's secession. The UN stood by. Lumumba was arrested by his own army chief, Joseph Mobutu. 1 week after independence, a rebellion broke out within the Force Publique against its officers, who were still predominantly Belgian. This was a catalyst for disturbances arising all over the Congo, mainly instigated by dissatisfied soldiers and radicalized youngsters. In many areas, their violence specifically targeted European victims. Within weeks, the Belgian military and later a United Nations intervention force evacuated the largest part of the more than 80,000 Belgians who were still working and living in the Congo. The chaos was so much that the new prime minister totally lost control of the situation. Efforts to get UN, Belgian and US troops help failed ultimately. The Cold War between the West and the Soviet Union also exacerbated any attempt to get the latter to offer any military assistance. The rebellion that had started in Iceville in the Bas-Congo in July 1960 quickly spread to the rest of the Congo. In September 1960, the leaders split, with President Kosovo declaring Prime Minister Lumumba deposed from his functions, and vice versa. The stalemate was ended with the government's arrest of Lumumba allegedly supervised by his army chief, Joseph Désiré Mobutu. In January 1961, he was flown to the rich mining province of Katanga, which by that time had declared a secession from Leopoldville under the leadership of Moise Tshombe, with active Belgian support. Lumumba was then handed over to Katangan authorities. On January 17, 1961, Lumumba was executed in Katanga. His body was dissolved in acid. For decades, the truth was buried, until Belgian officials admitted complicity in 2002. This is a brief timeline of events leading to Lumumba's assassination. 1. Tensions from Belgian Congo continue after June 1960 independence. Mutinies break out in several parts of the country. 2. Mineral-rich Katanga region declares independence aided by Belgium. 3. Lumumba and President Kosovo fell out, both leaders excommunicate each other. 4. Mobutu declares a coup. 5. Lumumba disregards Mobutu's summons. Mobutu sides with the president. 6. UN recognizes Mobutu's government. 7. Lumumba continues to tour parts of Congo. Mobutu's troops capture him and his close associates. 8. UN Secretary-General appeals for fair treatment. Soviet Union blames the United Nations for the treatment of Lumumba. 9. Lumumba is flown to Katanga region. 10. Lumumba and his associates on the orders of the Katanga leaders supervised by Belgian officers are tied to a tree and shot. Their bodies are thrown into a shallow grave. 11. The following morning, on the orders of the Interior Minister, the corpses were unearthed and dissolved in sulfuric acid. The bones are crushed and scattered. To many, Patrice Lumumba became a martyr, a symbol of African self-determination. His story echoes in every struggle against neo-colonialism. His dream of a united, independent Africa still resonates. One of his famous quotes is as follows: "Neither brutal assaults, nor cruel mistreatment, nor torture have ever led me to beg for mercy, for I prefer to die with my head held high, unshakable faith, and the greatest confidence in the destiny of my country rather than live in slavery and contempt for sacred principles."
Patrice Lumumba's influence on African liberation movements was immense, serving as a powerful symbol of anti-colonial resistance, advocating fiercely for Pan-African unity, economic independence, and a strong, united Congo free from neo-colonial exploitation, inspiring activists by his radical vision and tragic martyrdom, and demonstrating the complex challenges of decolonization. His fiery speeches and leadership in the Mouvement National Congolais, MNC, galvanized independence movements across the continent, showing that true liberation required dismantling colonial structures, not just gaining political flags.
So was Lumumba a threat to peace, or a threat to empire? History is still debating. What do you think? Share your thoughts below and subscribe for more stories that history tried to forget.